in like the black people commit way more crime against Asians than any other demographic. And the thing is it based off of location? Is it really based off of quote unquote racism? I don't know what it is. But ignorant people are going to hurt people. Like that's what the bad people do. That's just what bad people do.
Yeah, it's probably more just mental illness than anything else. That, like, I mean, how can you know if it's racially motivated or not? Like, I don't understand what rubric are they using to determine this, you know?
Well, my thing is this, you know, we look at the past year and we've seen this everything that is going on. It's being exacerbated by the media completely. And I can't find a logical reason except for money as to why they're doing this, unless they're complicit in some like ulterior motive. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
None of this does.
Hey, what's going on, Prophet? Just donated
man?
1 ice cream. Oh, we're in it now. That's 10 lemons. That's 10 lemons. We're in the lemon economy officially. Thank you for breaking our lemon, Prophet. He said, whatever it is racism, period. It doesn't matter. It's just racism, dude.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, when that Teen Vogue editor lady, she said something, she was 18 or 16 or whatever. She was young, and she made some stereotype or comments on Asians, and she just lost her job. I don't agree with that.
No, of course
I don't think
not,
she should have lost her job for something.
Stuff you said when you're a teenager.
But the reaction from the left, or the more quote-unquote liberal people, the journalists, are so upset, but they're the ones that have been calling for the cancellation of Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, because they're
calling for, you know,
it only applies when it affects somebody they know, and then they're like, oh, maybe can't, and like, because most of the responses to those people are like, yeah, but cancel culture isn't real. This is just consequence culture.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, this is something that there's no fucking backbone. You're $1 billion company, or you're couple $100 million. You tell me you can't tell a couple advertisers go fuck themselves? Like, you can't just be like, you know what? If there was a reason to get rid of her, it was her behavior when she was covering the White House and she was sleeping with like one of the dudes that worked on the campaign and worked in the White House.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, that should be something you get fired for as a journalist, not for saying something when you were 16, 17, 18. And we've seen this for what? I don't know, 5 years, where this has been repeatedly happening to edgy people that were on the internet that said edgy things. They've been getting removed and or canceled from their jobs, from the internet. And you're like, this has been happening. But now they're eating their own.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. It's a very strange time.
I just want to fucking rip, dude. Like, I honestly, like, I don't understand these people. I don't get it. How can the New York Times fire their editor, or whoever the hell it was, because they let Senator Tom Cotton write an opinion about why Trump should have the military come in? The guy got fired for that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's his job. Like, why would the New York Times, or when Politico published the playbook by Ben Shapiro, or whatever the heck that thing was called, like, and Politico employees freaked the fuck out. They freaked out. They were pissed.
Yeah, because they're like thin-skinned, little fucking authoritarians.
They're tyrants, dude.
They just don't want to hear anything that is outside of like their worldview, which is disturbing, especially when you start thinking of media outlets. I mean, basically, it's come down to like the fourth estate, which is what you would call like the media, has failed. It's completely imploding on itself. And
well, like, the thing is, why would they not just fire these fucking kids? If you're a boss, and you're running a multi-million, tens of millions of dollars, I don't know how much New York Times, whatever it is, they're worth fuck tons of money, and some 24-year-old, 22-year-old kid comes and works for you, and get mad, they'd be like, fuck it, you're fired. Like, we're not going to tolerate like your intolerance. We're not going to tolerate that. We're not going to have you sit here and threaten the company. Then fucking quit. If you don't want to work here, then fucking quit, like Glenn Greenwald did when he quit The Intercept. When they were like, no, we're not going to fucking allow you to publish this article on the Hunter Biden stuff. He quit. And he's one of the founders. Mm-hmm. He quit. And now they're going after Substack.
Yeah, they're going
after. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they're going to try, and they always try to go after people. They try to get somebody that's like a big fish for something that's kind of innocuous, because they play this game of telephone with each other where they'll accuse somebody of being like transphobic, right? Because that's what's going on with Substack. There's a writer, his name is Jesse Signal, and he wrote in 2016, he wrote a thing about gender dysphoria in teenagers.
Okay.
And he was just saying, and it was basically like pointing out the fact that, like, you know, there's a lot of data to suggest that a lot of teenagers will detransition because they make this decision when they're teenagers. Later in life, they're like, that was a mistake.
So definitely not transphobic.
It happens. No, he's not. He's not at all. I mean, if there is such a thing, he's not it. And what they'll do is they'll just make these claims, and then they'll all get together with their friends and they'll retweet each other, and they'll say like, yeah, I know, people have been known about Jesse Signal since like 2012. There's been whisper networks, and none of them provide any evidence or proof. And then they take this, they're like, look at all these tweets, look at all this bad shit that this dude did, look at it all. Even though there's no proof there, they're just like, look how many people are upset, look at all these blue checkmark people that are upset at this person. He must be guilty. I mean, these people wouldn't just point the finger at anybody for any reason. It's fucking insane.
Well, I think it's really a sign of the times of the mainstream, like, quote unquote, legacy media. They're failing. These new and rising stars are coming up, you know, because I wonder how the transition was. Like, think about this. When radio came out, you know, radio was, you know, around for decades and decades, like for a long time. I don't know how long. Every person pretty much had a radio in their home, you know. That's how you got your news. That's how you got your entertainment. You know, that's how you got anything as far as from outside of your town, your state. So I wonder when TV, and which I wonder how this happened. I wonder with the transition from, because radio obviously took a huge hit once everyone had TVs in their home. I wonder if there was some sort of like clash, war, you know, some sort of like argument, like where's radio trying to cancel TV personalities, or was it like radio personalities moving over to television because that's where like the money was?
Well, the
medium had changed.
Like the format changed, right? Like they just went more towards like, oh, talk radio was always a thing, and music. Music kind of saves radio, right? In terms of it being like this viable entertainment source that everybody
MP3s.
Yeah, until early 2000s. And then that shifts again, right? But there's plenty of people, I mean, they still listen to the fucking radio. Crazy people.
Yeah, no, I'm not, well, I think NPR is still relatively popular. You know, I think a lot of people do listen to these was it Rush Limbaugh, who just died? I mean, people still listen to him, and, you know, millions of people. I think he had 60 million people listening to him weekly or something crazy.
Yeah, because you can't watch a TV in your car, but you can listen to somebody talk. You can listen to a podcast. I mean, podcasts themselves probably serve more of a threat to like their model than anything else, right?
Well, I mean, radio's survived for sure for a long time, and I don't know if radio. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll see is it even viable, and who really listens to the radio every day besides someone who's maybe older? I mean, I do not listen to the radio ever when I get into my car.
Yeah, me neither.
Ever. It's YouTube, Spotify, and, you know, recordings of myself. But, you know, mainly recordings of myself. But no, I just don't understand how when these people, like, because Substack, which is cool. So the way I understand it is, I was learning a little bit about it today. So Substack will offer certain people a sum of money up front for coming to their platform. Yeah. So they're off, you know, like Glenn Greenwald probably got like $50K, $100K or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then through the donations or people subscribing, they take a portion of that until it's like paid back after like a year or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cool program. And obviously they're not going to do that for everybody, but if you're someone like Barry Weiss coming from the New York Times.
Yeah, they want names. They want names.
Yeah. I mean, but it's cool. You can go subscribe to people that you want to read. You don't have to go subscribe to the New York Times and then like you're only going to go read Barry Weiss.
It's like it operates.
It's YouTube. It's the YouTube of
print journalism
or podcast. Yeah, YouTube or podcasting of print journalism.
I mean, people. I think you can do podcasts on there. You can do. They're trying to make it like a Patreon. It's kind of what it is. It's like it cuts out the middleman of what Patreon kind of represents to the market, and they're just like, no, you can just host everything here.
Yeah, and just wait until MasterCard and Visa poll that you're not allowed to fucking donate to them.
That's what they're trying to do. They don't like Glenn Greenwald. They don't like Barry Weiss. They don't like Justice Snow. They don't like even that other guy. What's his name? Iglesias, the guy that used to work for Vox.
Oh, Matthew Iglesias.
Yeah, he's a little turd, but like he's on there. But they don't like those guys anymore because they broke away from the orthodoxy of this kind of incoming regime. Yeah. And a lot of it surrounds the concept of free speech and who is and what isn't allowed to be said and who can say what and who's allowed to ask what questions. It gets very bizarre because once you start getting into the intersectionality of that ideology, that's what they're all about. They're all about creating hierarchies and who can say what and do what, and if you disagree with like Dr. Seuss being banned, they're like, oh, you're a fucking racist, dude.
Yeah,
like, they're crazy.
Well, the funny thing is I'm telling they don't even realize that they're the establishment. Like they don't get it. They don't think they're the establishment.
Yeah, they have no self-awareness.
None. It is mind blowing. Like I was having a conversation. I went on a date the other night, and she was 22. I'm a little bit older. Not exactly robbing the cradle, but a little bit older. And she was talking to me about how she's a communist, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, why are you a communist? Like, she goes, well, communism never been tried. I'm like, listen, dude, I've watched all these videos on YouTube. I've been prepared. I've watched PragerU, Charlie Kirk. But I was sitting there. I was like, why are you communist? She goes, well, because I think everyone should deserve equal. And I'm like, it's because you haven't done shit yet. You haven't done anything to make you feel like you want to hold on to it, Yeah. I didn't say it exactly like that, but I was like, but the mindset is you're the establishment. I'm the punk rock guy. Like I'm anti-establishment, like technically, like if you're like a clean cut, you're fucking out there, maybe not the hair and everything, but I'm saying, but if you're like a clean cut Christian, you're the greatest if you're a clean-cut white Christian, you're the greatest threat and a free thinker, you're the greatest threat to the establishment. You are like the worst thing that there could ever be.
That's how they treat people, yeah.
Yeah, so you're just like, I'm like, you think like when Starbucks and Sony and every mainstream establishment like has Black Lives Matter banners and like saying we support you, you're the establishment, dude. And then when they're saying now it's like being a white person today is like being a black person in the 60s. You got blamed for everything. Like it's all your fault.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not.
No,
it hasn't quite. I mean, in terms of the blame game, yes, but that's done
Shaun,
on purpose, and they know that. They know it.
Maybe not the 60s, maybe like the 40s and 50s. Like, no, I'm like, seriously, think about it. Name me one thing that white people are not blamed for today. Like, honestly.
No, I'm not. No, I think like in terms, like I said, like the blame
people
game.
Are losing their jobs, bro. Yeah. All over the place.
Yeah. A black lady just got fired from Teen Vogue. Remember we just talked about it.
That doesn't count. She's a white supremacist.
She is a white supremacist.
What are these? She's a multiracial whiteness. That's what it is.
Well, the thing that's like really disgusting about all these people that like push this shit out there is that they actually pick and choose when you are even allowed to be included in the oppression. So you have these people out there that like gate-kept Asians. Last year, they were all about, dude, Asians are adjacent to white supremacists. They're adjacent to white.
I don't even know.
They're white adjacent, and they are part of white supremacy.
Harvard.
I know, yes.
Harvard.
And then the Harvard admissions thing that happened a couple years ago. But then those same people today, now that it serves their agenda, they say, oh my God, black people and Asian Americans are the most oppressed minorities in the country, and we stand together. And even though a few months ago they were all like, yeah, but they're not really like minorities. They're really kind of just like another white person. And you're like, you people are disgusting. You're disgusting people. This sucks.
Andy got hit in the face with a bike lock, fucking all this, whatever, got fucked up.
He's got one of those faces, though.
What, nation face?
What are you saying?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you saying?
No, he's just like one of those faces that you just kind of want to punch. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. But Andy, and then like they've been trying to cancel his book. That dude from the Mumford and Sons like tweeted like his book and being like, "Hey, I just read this. You guys should check it out." He got like kicked out of the band. Like, you want to talk about stop Asian hate? Like, let the guy live his life. This guy had to go to the UK to not be murdered.
Yeah. He should. I can't. The most surprising thing to me about Andy No is that he doesn't know martial arts. I mean, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got. I mean, I'm surprised. Like he's not part of from a dojo. There we go. Now we're nuked off of YouTube.
Yeah,
we'll be D-Live forever now.
D-Live forever. We are the new Owen Benjamin. We are here.
Yeah, this is where we are. We're the kill stream now.
I wonder when there would be a point like we have to start putting like black tape on this shit, like because it's a Bud Light, so we have to start putting black tape because
we don't
want
to be associated with our tomfoolery.
Dude, listen, when you watch TV in foreign countries, it's like super interesting in some. So like Turkey, for example, they won't show like American products.
Mm-hmm.
So like they will blur out everything like sometimes like or certain products. Like it's weird. You'll be watching and they'll just be blurred stuff like on there, like they're
sometimes
like, a little symbol and they just blur it all.
Well, usually it's like a legal thing because if you don't have like the rights to the logos or the images, you can't actually show them.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if YouTube is going to head down that path. Like, no. You owe us money because you're using our product or something. It's like, what the fuck?
That's a tasty Coca-Cola you got there, buddy. That'll be 50 cents.
Yeah. Or YouTube will start having to pay for it, and they'll be like, fuck, like you guys can't drink shit. Can't have nothing on us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think all this bullshit that we've been seeing for years, like it's only been 5, 6 years, 10 years maybe, but as of late, because all those kids graduated high school, all those people that fucking hated Ben Shapiro in 2015 and they were like seniors, like they got jobs. They're out there working probably.
Yeah, we've
in these industries.
We've kind of talked about this before. And I remember back then, I think maybe we argued a little bit about it, but I think it's just like about the idea that like we have a generation of people that have been indoctrinated into the most extreme version of this kind of woke culture or whatever you want to call it. And now they're in positions of authority. They work at newspapers. They work at media companies. They work in the news. They work everywhere. Now they work in fucking hiring positions at Target, right? Like they're everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing, dude, is like, it's so disappointing when I was Jack Posobiec actually released, people are emailing him like all the woke shit because basically the Department of Defense, the new Secretary of Defense, said that basically there had to be one day in the next 2 months from when he took over that everyone had one down day basically to discuss institutional racism and everything. And the stuff that people, and I've talked to friends who've gone through it, like they'll be the greatest threat in America right now is like white supremacy, like that is like white domestic terrorists, and people are bringing up like the insurrection they call it the insurrection at the Capitol and such. And he goes, well, what about fucking what just happened this summer? Like Black Lives, no, that was okay. That was because they needed to do that. They're teaching that to the military. They're saying that to the military.
Yeah, the military is being politicized.
Wokeified.
Yeah.
Wokeified. No, dude, I'm telling you, it was pretty bad when I was in. It was, and I mean, I'm not going to act like, I've been out for almost 2 years now. It's been a good 2 fucking years, man. But I remember when I was going through my Airman Leadership School, and the question that got brought up was, they do bring up controversial stuff on purpose, and they brought up like the idea of affirmative action, equal opportunity, like all this stuff. And there was this kid in there, and it was the fucking craziest thing. So this kid is white. He's from Hawaii, and he's kind of that like super smart, annoying kid. Not many people like him. he just doesn't have good social skills, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like hardcore conservative. So he's sitting there and like he was probably right, but he goes, listen, where I came from, I was a minority. He's like, I was like one of the few white kids in my school.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I grew up surrounded by a bunch of Pacific Islanders and Samoans, or whatever you say them, like, and all that stuff. And my teacher laughed at him because she was African American. She goes, "Oh yeah, you were a minority," and like I just
It's
pointed
just
out,
a
I'm
fact.
like, but the whole class started ganging up on him, and I'm like, you guys realize like you're proving his point.
Yeah,
like you're proving his point right now. And I said, like, you're so concerned, and I said this to my teacher, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you're so concerned with skin color, but you're not concerned about like what people think. I'm like, you should be concerned. Like, this guy felt like he was in a similar position. Maybe he could understand.
Yeah, maybe he could actually understand something better. Maybe he was sharing it so that he could elucidate that he understood.
No, he was trying to say like, get the fuck over it. But
well, whatever.
Whatever.
But that's whatever. That's his fucking thing, right? Like, but being a minority is completely contextual. It has nothing to do with. It's not like it's not a class of person.
No, I know.
Prophets in the chat said, I just came back in. Are we talking about Frenchmen? Frenchmen run the media, the banks, and have enormous sway over the U.S. government. Can we just take the condom off here and admit that's the soul? Woke means anti-white. Not saying I've had some gin. I'm just saying, can we say it? Yeah. And we got another ice cream. Of course we can say it.
Yes. Well, the whole woke movement is anti-white. There's no doubt that they are. And the thing is, it's the worst thing about it is self-deprecating white people. And then what was it? What school was it? Columbia University. They were having separate graduations based off of race.
Yeah, don't quote us on this, but I think it's Columbia University. They were not mandatory. They were like things that you could attend, where there were graduation ceremonies that were based on like. It. Yeah, originally it was like, here's an African American safe space. Here's a Native American safe space to come graduate.
They changed the word to celebration instead of graduation.
And people were just like, well, that's not a big deal. People have clubs and do this shit all the time. It's like, yeah, but they're being subversive. Like, they're being subversive about the idea to self-segregate.
Like, do you remember?
But that's what they're doing. They're seeding the idea that you should separate by your race.
Hold on. This is the thing. Do you guys remember history? Board v. Brown, education, all that shit, right? Board versus Brown of education allowed black people to be integrated into schools. The government literally did it by gunpoint.
Yes.
The government came in and said, you will integrate, motherfucker. Like, that's what they did. So what I want to see, Joe Biden, martial law, I want to see complete segregation. Like, let's just do it for real.
Well, we got to protect the Asians, Dan. I think if anything has come out in the past...
Yeah,
the Asian community...
The Haitians?
Yeah, well, them too. I don't discriminate, Dan. I do not discriminate when it comes to segregation.
Well, it's like, I don't want my black friends feel like white people have a say in their life. Like, I don't.
What we're going to do is we're going to create, we'll call it a country, okay?
Yeah.
One for black people.
Let's call it Africa.
We're going to call it America 2. America, TOO.
TOO. I always get, it's really disheartened me, I think, in a way, because I meet people, I go play shows, play music, and I go on dates, and it just blows my mind how fucking dumb people are and how ignorant, like, they choose it. Like, and I'll sit there, and I was talking with this Asian woman, actually. I was talking with her, and we were talking about some of this stuff, and she goes like, I just don't think you'll ever understand. And I'm like, what how can you don't know me? Like, you can't say that shit.
No, but what is there to understand? I suppose, like...
Oppression, Shaun. Oppression.
Yeah, I know. They just package everything into this kind of oppression narrative. It's like...
Do I know oppression? I know depression. No, oppression? Like, do I know oppression? It depends on what you want to define oppression as, but, like, I think being in the military, you're oppressed a lot.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of oppressed. Like, that's the idea.
Well,
like, shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, it could be a depressive lifestyle.
Well, like, it is. Like, dude, it's complete authoritarianism.
Oh,
it's more like socialism.
You're fucking turning Prophet on right now, okay? He says, yo, Dan, chill with the spicy takes. Jesus Christ, I need some sour cream. These are burning the road from my mouth. And then he gave us a lemon, Dan, so keep going. We're in the
keep
lemon
going.
economy.
No, but we are doing it. I'm telling you though, like you sit there, you like, yeah, like I guess I've been fucking oppressed. Like technically, I mean, if you really want to like talk about, but then again, were the black people in the military more oppressed than me? Probably. Let's get real. No. I mean, like I've seen so much dumb shit in the military. I didn't care. Like I have seen so many people fuck up and get away with it, whether it was myself or other people. And I've seen people get fucked of all races, of all creeds, of all religions. Like, yeah, you fucking suck.
Well, because the idea of being in the military is almost like a nationalistic perspective in the sense that, like, you guys are all in the military. You're military members.
Have you seen Jarhead?
It's supposed to not matter. Yes, I had a long time
You
ago.
are dark green, light green, or something green. You know, like he comes in.
Yeah,
like,
and that's in every military, especially Marine movies,
Right.
since
Full
the beginning
Metal
of
Jacket.
time. Yeah, but like
I wasn't a Marine, so I was not a man. I was not born into manhood.
No, but like if people were to adopt a more of America-centric identity, like no matter who you were, if people were just like, no, we're Americans first, that's a bonding thing. That's a bonding agent for a culture, for society. And what you see out there, but what you see out there in the woke project is to completely undermine the concept of being American as being a good thing, right? They want you to hate it. They don't want you to come together under a banner and collectivize under a nationalistic way.
Don't you say that fucking communist bullshit to me, collectivize.
Well, it
no,
is,
but
technically.
I think the military, and like that was the thing. You started seeing it break apart probably in my last couple of years. Last year, I started noticing more. What's the word I'm thinking? What word did you say about segregation? Like choosing it. Like people were choosing it a little bit more.
They'll self-segregate, yeah.
Well, whatever. You know, you noticed it. All the black guys hung out together. You didn't have. They have.
I think that's most
like
places,
things in common.
People are tribal. On a very basic, superficial level, they're just like, "Hey, you look like me, so I guess we're gonna hang out." It doesn't. Once you get to know people, it stops. That kind of stops mattering. But
I would say, I don't know. You know, in my younger years in the military, I didn't really think about it. Like it wasn't on my mind all the time. But when I got older, I started noticing more. But I was the white kid my whole life that could hang out with black people. Like that was just my thing. Like I always been that guy.
Well,
you know, because I don't bullshit. I tell you how it is. Like, and they just respect that. White people are fucking pussies about that. Like, oh my god, you offended me. Like most of the dude, seriously, most of the black people that I met in the military were some of the most straight shooters. Like they were straight fucking shooters. You just did your fucking shit. Like they were cool people. It was fucking, like, honestly, like, fucking, like, a lot of these fucking people, the ones that were, it was either, like, you were super cool, you were super straight, or you were woke. And that's what I saw at the end. Like, it was like a 50-50 split. Like, I had fucking, like, a couple black mass sergeants that were definitely, like, a little, you know, like, kind of, like, what's the word I'm looking at? Like, not Malcolm X, but, like, that Nation of Islam shit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because it's kind of
looking out for their own type deal. You know, like saying to a black guy, saying to a black kid, like, "Hey, man, listen, I get it." You know, it's like, huh? Like, he's like, "You got to do better." And
you
like,
just told me I was a piece of shit. What are you doing?
Well, I think something like I saw personally was the value of something I really saw, and this may have been a good thing for black culture, or not black culture, but black people that I was seeing in. Like, there was a serious, because they were being told, I think in certain ways that they were less than, that it pushed a lot of people to be like better. Like I would say but then again, like this is what I asked my teacher in this leadership school. She goes like, you know, we should have affirmative action and we should have, you know, equal opportunity and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so did you get this job because you met the requirements? Did you get this job because you're black? And I'm like, can you honestly? No. And I literally said, I'm like, can you honestly answer me that with affirmative action in place? She was like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, no, you can't. You can't.
Well, you can never know, and it undermines your own merit.
Yes, and I'm like, that's the problem with it. Is that like, is there always that thing that's gonna be in the back of your head that fucking makes you think like, did I actually get here? Because like she was a woman, and she was black, so she kind of hit that double mark.
Yeah, a WPOC. A WIPOC.
WIPOC. And this is the problem with all this shit. It's the bigotry of low expectations. And it goes, okay, if you are a minority, should we not want to have you in certain positions? Like, of course, that's ridiculous. Like, you know, I have to ask myself with women minority are minorities in the military, and women and black people are obviously minorities in the military. But then again, like the Hispanic number of Hispanics and Pacific Islanders is very high. You know how many dudes I've met from Guam, Samoa, like Tinian, like
it's
all these
out.
like different. It's not just like my buddy Daryl did not see a TV until he was 18 in an airport.
Baller.
Holy shit, dude. He grew up on an island that was literally like 5-6 miles long, 5-6 miles wide.
And then within a couple years, Dan, he became the Joker. So
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for this kid, like, go tell that kid that he's fucking oppressed. He'd be like, dude, fuck you, dude. Like, I have TV. I can eat whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can go fucking live wherever I want. Obviously, within reason of being in the military. But the military gave him that way out. And that's cool. And whether you're like a poor black kid from the hood or a poor white kid from West Virginia, it gives you that opportunity to excel and to do better and to do more. And that's cool. Like, that's a thing that a lot of people don't. The military, forget what we're doing around the world, but I'm saying, like, it gives you that. Like, you can literally there's no other military in the world that is as prevalent as American military, where you can literally pretty much go anywhere. You can go pretty much anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
With American military. It's awesome. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. Why? And like talking and like, you know, black people are punished harder in the military. Like, that's what they say, you know, but you know what? If there's one thing I learned from Helen Pluckrose, James Lindsay, or Brett Weinstein and Heather Eying, they all prove it all. I've seen this probably proved more times than I can count now, probably at least like 15, 20 times. They will go break down data research about whether it was COVID in African Americans. And they're like, they just stopped to make, like, at this number to, like, they literally just stopped testing so that black people look like they're doing worse off. Like, they just manipulate, they lie. It's all this woke shit has invaded our sciences, has invaded every aspect of our life. And it goes, why the fuck would I trust a vaccine when I'm being lied to constantly by science? When they told me, like, oh yeah, you know, Black Lives Matter can protest, dude, because white supremacy is a bigger problem than COVID. But I have to close down my fucking business. And then when it's closed down, they burn it to the fucking ground.
I know. Dan, I think, like, I mean, that's like when I guess the whole election thing just kind of circles back to that, because I expected that to red pill so many people.
What do you mean?
Just the past year.
Careful what you can say.
No, I'm just saying, like, the concept of, like, we watched a complete failure of government and institutions at, like, every fucking level. Every level.
Well, I mean, the thing is...
I mean, like, there was no will to stop this stuff by anybody. What's going on? Like, they go...
You see what's going on in the Chauvin trial? Chauvin, whatever his name is.
You know, you'd probably have to update me. I've been a little out of the loop.
They fucking gave... So the city gave the George Floyd family...
Yeah, $27 million.
$27 million.
Before
the trial. That's basically admitting you're guilty. Or that you think you have some fault here. And it's like, holy shit, dude. These people don't give a fuck.
No, and they're gonna what do you call it? They're gonna bias a jury.
I doubt it.
I mean, which they're already.
Already had to leave.
I watched some of the jury stuff. Like, that shit was crazy. Yeah. Like, it's very. This is like. I don't know if we're gonna see real justice. I think this is. It's like a witch trial.
There's no way he's not gonna get off.
Well, because
in my opinion, he's gonna.
Because they reintroduced third-degree murder, right?
Well, they had second at first. Then they added third degree.
No, didn't the higher court force them to do that?
I have no idea. I don't know what they. I don't know.
I can't remember exactly.
Like I don't know if they can do that. The prosecutor probably was like, "Well, I think they had second, maybe," and then the higher court might have been like, "Hey, like if you're not going to get that."
Well, because the more extreme of a charge, the higher the burden. The burden of proof is, like, you're going to have to prove intent. Like, I meant to kill this person with malicious intent for some of the charges they were throwing at him. No,
even third degree is still malicious. Like, you have to,
how are they going to? How the fuck are they going to prove that? Like, I don't know.
They won't.
I guess we'll see.
But That's why they added second-degree manslaughter. I think that should be illegal. I don't think you should be able to add like fucking like. What do you mean? No, you can charge him for fucking one of these charges. Why are you charging with 3 separate things?
Yeah, no, they're just
how can you charge
playing
second
games.
and third? It's fucking.
What's it?
asinine.
Keith Ellison, isn't he up there involved in all this garbage? Isn't he like the DA up there or something?
I have no idea. I just think it's like you look at the Chauvin case, and how can
he's the Attorney General?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's anything that this case is, as far as I can see. I mean, listening to them like ask these people like, oh, what are your view on people who do drugs? And she's like, oh, well, you know, this woman was like, I guess I wouldn't have like the best view of like drug addicts. I guess I've had people in my family. And he's like, so do you think they should die? And she goes, no. Like, yeah, like I get the questioning because they know that's gonna be brought up.
It's so stupid.
But did you see the other video that got released of his first arrest, like the arrest before that?
No.
Like a couple months before? Yeah, dude, same exact dog and pony show.
Yeah.
He swallowed amphetamines, or not amphetamines,
fentanyl.
Opiates. No, that was this one.
Okay.
He swallowed opiates
previously.
In this,
okay.
But he was like freaking out, man. Oh man, please, oh, like just screaming, and you're like,
yeah, they're gonna be.
This guy had but they want to know if they could show it in court.
Why wouldn't that be relevant? Come on.
Why wouldn't his history be relevant? The prosecutor is trying to say it's not, obviously.
Obviously, they're trying to win their case because it's obvious. It's clear it goes to like behavior pattern. Like, clearly goes to that.
Chauvin knew him supposedly. Like he had interacted with him like plenty of times before.
Well, didn't they work at the same nightclub and they were bouncers or something?
That's what they say. I don't know.
I never saw a follow up on that, but yeah, I don't think that guy's gonna get justice. I say it, but
honestly, hang all cops. You know,
just do it right now, tomorrow.
Obviously not, but it just goes. What do these people think? Like, what? I don't get it. I watch these videos, and I love. There's nothing more perfect and sweet to me than watching a cop get owned. I fucking love it.
Oh yeah,
I fucking love a guy being like I was watching this dude, O'Shea Jackson, not Ice Cube, different guy. Okay, O'Shea Jackson. Sitting there, and like the guy pulls him over, the cop pulls him over, he flips his camera or whatever, and he has a front dash, and he has like the one that's facing his face, showing his face, and the guy, and he had turned it on after he already got pulled over, and it was something to do with his back tail light, you know, and he's literally just like, dude, well, is it on? Are you giving me is my light on? The guy's like, yeah, but you can't see it from far away, and he goes, I don't fucking give a shit, whatever. And the guy just like cusses him out. And he's like, give me back my fucking ID. I'm done. Are you fucking, let's go. Like, and the cop's like, hey, calm down. He's like, no, fuck you. Give me my fucking ID. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking pulled me. I'm going to go. What's your badge number? What's your fucking badge number? What's your name? Like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yes. Like, own these motherfuckers. Like, that's what you should do. You should be able to, like, I think police have, the reason they get the reputation they do is because we've instilled, and like honestly, like we should give pushback to police. We should push them on because like there are, and like you've complained about this, and you know I have to ask yourselves like, okay, well, how do we deter people from doing bad things? You know, like do fines work? Do giving people tickets work?
Well, it's like, listen, if when you have people or an institution that has that kind of power over your life, you should be informed, like you always advocate for, and you should call them out when they're wrong, and you should do it every time. Doesn't matter how small of an infraction doesn't matter, because you give people an inch with power, they're gonna take a fucking mile. They're never gonna give that back. If you give it to them, they're never gonna give it back.
Drino Carano shared some savage shit today. It was pretty funny.
Prophet says the Snyder Cut is the new base reality. All police officers must now adhere to the Snyder Cut. All laws of man and nature now come from the Snyder Cut. Well, that's true. That's true.
So I'm guessing he loved it.
I don't think he. I doubt he has not watched it. I guarantee.
Oh, he hasn't. Okay.
Well, when you do watch it, Prophet, there will be a spoiler cast we recorded before we did this. Exactly. It'll be up tomorrow.
It says, if you allow the government to break the law because of an emergency, they will always create an emergency to break the law. And I think that's fucking true, dude.
Well, it's problem, reaction, solution. You create a problem to garner a reaction, and then you provide a solution to it. Little David Icke for you there.
9/11. Yeah.
Actually, that's what he says about 9/11.
Yeah, I bet. But it's just, well, the thing is, I don't know how people could say that it didn't happen. Obviously, it happened. But come on, bro. Like, come on. There's some shady shit going on. I still think to this day, some shady shit. And
are we talking about 9/11?
Yeah.
Oh,
some
okay.
shady shit happened that day.
No, I think so. I mean, obviously,
But like any big event, you look in our history, some shady shit always seems to be like around those events.
Well,
like,
people always push back on me about whenever I would get conspiratorial. They'd be like, "Listen, dude," especially because I have a lot of military friends, as you know. Like,
yeah,
they'd be like, "Dude, like it would take so many people to coordinate, and so many people would have to know. They would never be able to keep their mouth shut." So I'm like, "Dude, you don't need everybody to know. How often do you like actually talk about
compartmentalization? That's what it is.
Yeah, but how often do you even like think about what you're being asked to do? And well, you keep it like you said, everything is compartmentalized. Not everybody knows what everybody else is doing, and you may be feeding into a larger project that you don't even understand. It's like when Bruce Wayne hires contractors to build a Batcave. Like,
yep. Well, I think it would also be, explain to me how they've been able to keep most of this alien shit completely under wraps, right? If it exists, like they've kept most.
That's a psyop. That's a psyop.
It probably, but like the thing is, everything is a psyop.
Most things
whether true or no, like everything that you see within reason is controlled at some point to get to you.
Yeah, they don't share information with you because they want you to have knowledge. They share it with you because they think they can control you.
Well, I think it would also lead you to say, like, what would they want to prepare us for, right? And this and that. I don't know. Until they show me Bigfoot, I ain't believe your shit.
Prophet says, it happened, Dan? Think so? Heard of holograms much? You actually think the Pentagon ever existed? Laugh out loud, cuck. I was actually going to make the same joke. I'd be like, you ever hear of holograms, bro?
Yeah. I don't think I think it's completely plausible. Like, how many people...
A conspiracy doesn't require that many people. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But what I'm saying, how many people had to know about it? Let's just say
20
for 9/11 to happen.
20
people, 20 that had to know
and
this was
6 of them are now dead to scare the other 14.
No, like probably 14 of them are dead to scare the 6, you know.
Maybe.
But I just, shit happens, man. Like the world's a dirty place. And if you get involved in that shit, you're probably doing some like dirty, nasty shit, and you probably don't really value, you know, have you ever seen the movie Tenet? Okay, that guy had no emotion, no feeling. You know, I really do think there's a point, though, where you take a guy that just doesn't give a fuck about anybody, doesn't have a family, doesn't give a shit, and you're paying this guy fuck tons of money, he's probably going to do it. Probably going to do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like if you're like you've been bred and like, you know, or you like the kind of the dark angel shit, like you're fucking from a kid. You're they have those programs in the United States. Like, I guarantee you. Like, shit like that.
Of what? Like Manchurian Candidate stuff?
No, not Manchurian. Like, no. They're not sleeper. They're like fucking, like, raised to be spies.
Like
they are
like
raised
Hannah?
Children.
Like Hannah? You ever see that movie,
Sure.
Hannah?
I haven't. But I mean, not like super soldiers, but they're like spies. Like, they are completely...
Yeah, from the... like the movie Soldier. Kurt Russell.
Yeah, like Soldier, exactly.
Oh, thank you.
But why would they not do that?
Thank you, Biff Nix, for following us. We appreciate it.
What's up, big guy?
Why wouldn't they do that? No, I don't know. Yeah, but wouldn't you do that to create Manchurian candidates within a population that are not affiliated with the military per se? They get adopted. I don't know.
Well, like, what's like a Manchurian candidate is a person that doesn't know, right? That's what the whole idea. Like, they don't know that they're fucking.
That they've been activated?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole idea.
Yeah,
no, I don't
that
think
makes
it's
it even more.
crazy.
That makes it more insidious. It makes it more subversive. I
mean,
but
I don't think it's even that insidious. I just think you just take a kid from when they're fucking 3 or 4 years old, they're orphans, and you raise them to do shit for you.
He's like, first you get them into dog fighting. Okay, you have them fighting dogs as children.
Yeah.
Dogs and chickens.
I'm
with
just
the-
saying that
with
would
the
be more realistic.
lasers.
The Chinese is fucking creating super soldiers through genetic
Oh, you
fucking
know,
modification shit.
you know that shit's happening over there. You know it is, dude.
No, it is. Like they are. It's like admitted.
And
That doctor that got, remember that the doctor came out and said that he was fucking with babies and shit? Remember that? He came out and admitted that he was genetically altering babies.
oh
He
yes,
was doing, and he got like it in trouble. No, that dude, nah, dude, that dude's out there. He's ripping, dude. He's living in Cabo, fucking making genome codes for fucking super Chinese people.
Well,
And they're all, and their culture, do you know what they do with kids who are pussies? Like little boys?
they beat them.
They make them go through masculine training camps.
That's a new thing, isn't it?
It's within the last like 5 years.
Yeah, because they're concerned about the feminine influence of the
yeah,
culture.
they're seeing what's going. Well, they see what's going on in Japan. They're like, we can't have that happening.
We can't have these hikikoris or whatever, hikikomimis or something. Basically, incels over in Japan. They don't leave their houses.
But they're fucking dude. Like they put them in boxing match. Like, you know what? That's what we need to do in America. Like we should stop the feminization of children. We should or boys, especially, obviously. Why? Why would you want your kid to be raised up to be a pussy? Like why?
I don't
Honestly,
know. I don't know.
why would you not want you like if your kid start coming around and be like, Dad, like I'm a fucking I fucking getting picked on. Like stand up for yourself, dude. We'll go take some jiu-jitsu classes. Like get your kid ingrained in that he can defend himself. That he's like tough.
Because we don't teach kids anymore to be self-sufficient, even physically, and having to face an adversity. What we'll do is we'll like call a PTA meeting, parent-teacher conference, and go to the principal and be like, "Yo, you gotta make them stop." Even though that never really happens,
right? Know what they call it? Snowplow.
I mean,
parenting?
I think you could probably do both. You should get your kid into a position where he feels like comfortable with his own physicality.
Drop your kid off
at a dogfight.
At a summer camp. I say, see ya, dude. When I see you in a couple weeks, like bye. Like those things like have to be good, like some sort of adversity.
Yeah, and then your kid gets fucked by a counselor, and you just said,
"That's just what."
Sorry,
happens.
son, I wasn't taking your calls.
He's got 1 out of 10 chance that might happen, but that's a chance I'm willing to take.
Sorry, son, I was listening to Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen on repeat all summer.
Well, it's like, what are you gonna do though?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You go kill the guy.
Like, whoa! In Minecraft, yeah, maybe.
No,
maybe
in real life
we'd have like a Virtua Fighter tournament.
I don't think you have to say that shit at all. Like if someone, like why you're not calling out anyone in particular, so you're good. What I'm saying is like if you had to fucking like someone fucking did that to your kid, like, you would fucking
You would want to kill them, yes, of course. That would be the desire. That would be the desire. Would be to kill them.
Yeah. And like, do you remember that famous video of that guy? Like, he's at the airport. It's shared by a lot of like kind of right-wing edgelord people. Whenever like pedophile shit gets brought up.
No.
It's a famous story. So this guy, like a family friend, kidnapped this kid like from his parents or whatever, and he had him gone for like 10, 12 days, and then he got arrested. The kid was rescued and whatever, and the father, like, brought his like 44 Magnum or whatever and was standing there on a payphone in an airport.
Yeah.
When he was walking by, he just turns, drops the dude in front of everybody, and the cop's like, "Why, Gary? Why, Gary? No!" Like, and the guy got like 30 days in jail.
Oh, because it was like a moment of madness or something.
No.
Crime
they just
of passion. Well,
nah. The judge. No, no one would prosecute him. Like they weren't gonna prosecute. Like they just said like
Did that guy not have like a family? The guy that got killed. The guy that got killed, because the family could go forward and be like, press charges.
No, because like, what are you gonna press charges on him for? You can't.
For murder?
Yeah, you can't do it, man. No, because it comes to Shaun, charges. As far as I know, now hear me out. I'm not an expert, but like, if the prosecutor won't prosecute, who the fuck is gonna prosecute him?
Well, if somebody wanted them to, they would have to. You're legally obliged to. Like, the prosecutor doesn't get to make a determination what they feel
is
worthy
or worthy.
What are you talking?
All the time, Shaun. It's called district attorney. Yes, they do.
If somebody, yes, of course they can drop charges, but there's a process to go through. If somebody shoots somebody in cold blood in an airport,
Shaun,
you could fight that and make sure that there was a hearing.
I don't think so.
That,
Dude,
damn, then that would be so fucking lopsided. That would not be right.
Listen, dude. But Shaun, why the fuck did Chauvin get arrested, Shaun? Why did Chauvin get arrested for doing his job?
I didn't say that. I'm not, dude. I would not suggest that's right either.
So explain to me though how a prosecutor and a district attorney can fucking do it.
Yeah, they charge them.
They can just say we're gonna fucking charge you. They cannot charge people as well, Shaun.
Well, but they
can choose not to. They can say we don't have standing, we don't have evidence, we're not moving forward. We don't think it's a good idea because the state can't win. The people can't win, in my opinion, so we're not pushing forward. That happens all the time.
Yeah, usually, yes, it does. But it's not that simple, Dan. They don't just go in and be like, yeah, well, I guess it's not happening.
Yeah. Why can't they?
Usually, there's a process. They have to do their own investigations.
Are you a lawyer? I don't know about it.
I've seen a lot of lawyer shows.
I've seen Law and Order 16 times.
I've seen at least 16
I'm telling
seasons.
you, man, as far as I know, through my very limited experience.
Through my lawyer showing.
Lawyer shows. No, I audit the audit, Shaun. Audit the audit. No, because, like, think about this. Okay. This is a good example. A police officer arrests somebody and plants drugs on them, and then they get charged for those drugs. All right?
Yeah.
Whatever. So that happens. Like, there was this case where this guy did it, right? It was like this guy had arrested like 300 people in like a year or something stupid. I don't really know the number. It's a lot, right? And so once they found out he planned it on one, the district attorney said, we're dropping charges for everybody that he's like ever arrested, like letting people in jail, like for drug charges anyway.
Yeah, because they can't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's like, though, that throws all the credibility out, right?
It does, 100%.
Okay, so but like that is, those people could have had real drugs on them, but the district attorney just said, well, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, but the person that was tasked with vetting out justice or doing whatever, keeping the law, fucked it up.
Right.
So they get away because that guy fucked it up.
So why? So if a cop, I'm telling you, dude, these fucking guys, like, explain this to me, Shaun. Okay, how about this? This is actually true. This is actually where I completely disagree with you. Now, there may not be an injured party like what we're talking about. Portland. Portland is a prime example. They arrest people every single day, every single night, and they get put in jail, and they get the charges dropped.
Yeah.
By who? The district attorney.
Yeah, I know.
And they are caught assaulting people. They are caught burning those private businesses with their windows destroyed. Yeah. Explain that to me.
I don't think that's a good thing. No.
Because why?
But then
I know why. I now know why. I'm gonna break it down. Let me break it down for you, dog. Let me break it down.
Go.
Because a district attorney is much like a governor can overturn any law in their state. Like, they can say, okay, you committed a state crime, you committed murder in our state or whatever, or you did something, a state crime, we can put a state, like, I'm gonna overturn it because they're like the mini president of their state. The district attorney can do the same thing. Okay. They can do the same thing like, they do not have to press forward with charges. I'm an idiot. I'm not saying I know for a fact, but it makes sense after seeing what's happened in Portland all fucking summer.
Yeah, because I think
all year.
Because it's the state that actually presses the charges. The
yes.
officer brings the charges. The state presses the charges.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense logically.
You know what I mean? So like with this particular case, though, I'm not saying I know. I know they worked it. They basically were like, we feel you, bro. Like, we get it. That's what the whole justice system went. Yeah, you'll do 30 days. Like, you'll do 30 days for having a gun in an airport.
However much I understand that as like a father and as a man, as a person, like, I get that. I also don't know if that's a good idea.
Honestly, though, would you care? At that moment, I don't think he gave a shit if he went to jail forever or not, that father.
No, but usually, a lot of times when things like that happen, they have their special considerations. Crimes of passion or like brief momentary insanity. Like, usually it happens to do when like somebody catches like somebody molesting their kid, or a lot of times it has to do with that, or beating their wife, or doing something like that, or
they're cheating.
Or cheating sometimes.
Cheating is a big one. But so a crime of passion. This is actually one of the things that I know from watching Law and Order. No, but it's crime of passion is a crime of passion if it's done instantaneously. So like if you walk into your bedroom, catch your wife cheating.
It's not premeditated.
But there's a gun on the table. You pull the gun, you shoot both of them. That is good. But the moment you leave the room and you go grab a gun or you grab a knife and you come back, that's premeditated murder.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It
right?
can't be premeditated.
So I'm telling you right now, this fucking dude
Premeditated. I know
that fucking airport to murder this fucking guy.
That.
And he did. And dude, the video, you can watch it. We can watch it right now. It's on YouTube.
All right, well,
Go look for it. I gotta pee.
What is it
Got
called?
a small bladder.
What the fuck is it called?
Just type in dad shoots pedophile. Try that. Oh, you'll find it.
Damn, this guy.
It's like old. He's wearing a trucker hat. It's super easy to find.
All right. Shoots pedo at airport. Oh, learning lots of things today. A Texas dad beats his daughter's attackers to death. Court applauds man who killed child molester. I'm assuming this is what it is. No, that's not it. Just type in guy shoots somebody on the internet. You'll find it. It'll be there. This motherfucker. Oh, we could watch clips of different strokes with the bicycle man child molester. Woman says murder victim. Yeah, at airport. It's not a hero for killing child molester cellmates. Literally the vaguest thing he could have told me to look up. This guy is a nut. Anyways, how's it going, everybody? Dead air. Trying to remember. I gotta remember. I want to talk about this Bill de Blasio thing where he wants to send officers to people's houses to tell them that they've been rude.
Did you find it?
No. I
did.
I mean, I wrote dad shoots pedo at airport and I got a bunch of stuff.
Dad, I just found the video. Father shoots son's kidnapper in airport. But the problem is, I can't fucking find
the actual.
It won't let me. It says age restricted, and I guess you can't share age restricted shit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can't.
I can
put it on my screen and we can just watch it.
I can turn down the sound on mine and then we're good.
Just shoot me the link or something. I
can't. That's what I'm saying. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna show you the picture. This is super interesting content. But hold on, no, here it is. This is what it looks like on the screen.
The fuck? What is the father shoots son kidnapper in airport? Son kidnapper in airport. Okay, I'm gonna write it. Okay, I got you.
So it's
Okay, I got you right here. Okay.
Yeah.
From Court TV 8 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, I'll start. I have my sound down, I think. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm good.
All right. And 1, 2, 3, go.
A karate instructor had abducted 11-year-old Jody Plauché several weeks earlier and taken him to California. When Jody was rescued and returned to his family, his father Gary was coping with reports that Doucette had sexually assaulted his son.
We didn't know what to do. You just feel helpless.
10 days later, when the police flew Doucette back to face trial,
so I said I'd shoot him,
Gary
motherfucker.
Plauché was waiting with a gun.
As the suspect came through the airport, I readied my camera, raised it up to get a close-up shot of him. As I got a close-up shot and as he got parallel to me, Gary Plauché shoots and kills him.
God damn.
Gary, why? Gary, why? And to this day, it stands out in my mind.
If he was black, they would have shot him.
Gary Plauché says, if it had been your child, you would have done the same thing too.
Today, Abram McGull is an assistant U.S. attorney and views that tape through the eyes of a federal prosecutor.
I would have to say the videotape was the most ideal witness in this case. You can actually see him take the gun out of his boot, pull it up to the shoulder level of Jeff Doucette, and pull the trigger and shoot him.
Dude!
Yet Plauché, after pleading no contest to manslaughter, got off with
is
only
he
5
saying
years
Gary?
probation.
Is that what he says?
He got off with 5 years probation. That's crazy because they were
Yeah.
clearly saying that because they're like, you just ruined your life. We already have him. Because I didn't realize when you were telling me that he was being fucking escorted by the police.
Escorted. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's fucking wild. That's old.
Yeah.
That's old.
That's like.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Like as a
No, I mean, I'm just saying though. He's like, nah, dude, you ain't going to jail. Like, you're gonna die for raping my kid. That's what he said.
that's I mean,
And he
yeah.
got 5 years probation. Okay, the guy had nothing on his record. He was a completely clean guy. Like,
Yeah,
and dude,
yeah.
he was kind of hailed as like a hero. Like a hero.
Yeah, he's like
people loved him.
a folk hero. Like, yo,
He
dude.
fucking, but tell me what that should be allowed, honestly. If dude, on like in a weird way,
it shouldn't be.
no, it should.
You want to
If
encourage
get
vigilante justice like that? The
No,
police
no,
literally
no,
had
no.
him, Dan.
Shaun, tell me the difference between vigilante justice and fucking the
Dude,
police killing you.
that guy goes to prison for fucking a kid. That's the worst. That's worse than dying. I'd probably rather be dead. Frankly.
I mean, is it really though? I don't know. They might love it. Maybe they're like into that stuff. I don't know. You know, I was watching this interview with a escort, and it's a pretty horrible one. She didn't like seem very like kind of like heavy set woman, and I'm like, she's probably lying. But hey, you know, and she was talking about all like the crazy shit that she's had to do. And one of them was like, shit, this guy called her and he was like, I want you to save up your shit for a whole week, like, or 10 days. Like, so she shit in Ziploc bags.
Hell yeah.
Like, this is dedication. This woman.
Dude, you want to make that Skrilla, baby.
Yeah. And
Make
then
that
like,
cabbage.
she was like the shit that people are willing to do for money. Like, she's not into any of it. Like she says, she's like, I'm not into any of this, but like, they'll pay me 10 grand to like shit on.
There's
whatever.
like, dude, any kink imaginable, anything you could think exists. Somebody's into it. Somebody's like, oh, dude, I can't wait to fucking just lay in a bed and get covered in your feces.
Yeah, dude. Like, and the dude was, I guess, just like he just like wanted to like rub himself in it and then like, you know, masturbate and then like be called a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, who
Dude,
doesn't? Right.
And the thing is, like, I was talking to myself, you know, because that's who I hang out with most of the time is myself, you know, and I was masturbating quite a lot, you know, quite frequently. I was like, you know,
Gotta
just
chill.
not feeling. I just can't. No, it's just like, what am I doing? Like, this is not. If you're feeling guilty about doing something, like you have a problem with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like every time like you go, like, you know, I don't know.
You have a moment of self-awareness and you're like, what am I doing? I don't even enjoy this. It's just like mechanical and it's
like 5th time today, dude. Like, I need to take a break, you know? I became a coomer for a moment.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, it's just like, I don't know. It's the like being oversensitized to this type of stuff. I think it can ruin sex too in a lot of ways. Like just too much porn.
Well, because porn, it's just like anything. You develop like tolerances, and then you have to go farther and farther to get off. And this is something.
And I'm not gonna be that dude getting shit on. That's
just listen. Just gonna put it out there. Is that woman? Did she wake you up a little bit? Like shake you? Like, oh fuck, I gotta stop before I get there.
Well, no, I think one guy, one jar probably woke me up. Probably the most. Or like one guy, one horse, or two guys, one horse. You're like, dude, what is wrong with people? Like, how do you get to this level? How do you get to this level where you're like, yeah, that's what I want?
Yeah, but I think some people have already something wrong with them where they're predisposed to this extreme behaviors. But then you could also be you could be built. It could be built into. You could be built up to, I suppose.
I'm not a fan of eugenics, but I do believe we should eliminate people who fuck animals.
Just saying. Oh, come on, dude. Old Bill, his margasms. Did you hear about Bill de Blasio? What he said today? What he's pushing for?
About having police go knock on people's doors for like saying inappropriate shit, basically.
Yeah, I have the quotes here. It says, "I assure you, if an NYPD officer calls you or shows up at your door to ask about something you did, that makes people think twice, and we need that. I think that has an educating impact on people. I think that has a sobering impact that we need." Literally. This is like the shit that they do over in the UK and Australia.
No, I
please show up to your house to harass you because you wrote something on Facebook that they don't like.
Like, who the fuck is gonna want to live in New York, dude?
I don't know.
Why do people want to live there? I read this really interesting. I don't know where it was. It was like a parent, you know, emailed somebody or whatever, somebody in the press. And they're from New York, and they're going like, my 3 or 4 year old is coming home talking about how, you know, she doesn't like her skin color because she's white. How, you know, like her, or she might even be black. I'm not even sure. But she was basically making 3 or 4 year olds so aware of like race, like at that age, that she started like categorizing people, judging people based off of like, oh, well, you know, Judy is black, so Judy is okay. Like Judy is like, she just can't do anything, like weird shit like that. Well, and the parents are like, we're fucking out.
It's such a childish worldview, anyways. But children,
you should think about fucking homeschooling your kid, dude.
I have thought about it. I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point
get them into sports and shit. You know, like just keep them. I'm telling you, man. Like, dude, there is something fundamentally wrong with about how the education system is going in America. I think homeschooling is probably, dude, do you want your kid to be independent, to be a free thinker, to be smart?
Sure.
You can't fucking send them to public school, dude. They will fucking ruin that. The only reason we survived to the way we did is because we were stubborn as fuck.
Oh, who's to say that my son won't also be stubborn?
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to take that chance?
I mean, it's also,
look at Anna.
You got to be involved. Yeah, because Anna had kind of hands-off parents, not very involved in her life. In that way.
But then again, if you were homeschooled,
yeah, then your hands are all over that shit.
I don't think. But then again, it's like the question: should you insulate your kids from that stuff, and then they go into the real world?
No,
and that's how
I think if that's the way the world is going to be, you got to prepare them for that. Like,
no,
so,
fuck that.
And I don't think that. I don't have
that's
a.
How we
and
stop the world from being that way.
No, not necessarily. You got to have people that can go and teach them to stand up to it, make good arguments, etc., etc. They have to make better arguments. Unfortunately, that's the task of the next generation. And that's not to say that I don't think homeschooling is a good idea or that it's not a realistic option. It could be. You know, hopefully, maybe someday we can get to the point where that will be something that we can do. But unfortunately, right now, at least for his first few years, probably going to have to go to school.
I mean, dude, if they start teaching your kid about race shit and he's like in fucking first grade, like, you know, unless it's in a positive way, like we're all the same, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, like when we were kids? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, I don't remember really thinking about race until maybe like middle school. I would say is when I started like noticing more, and that's probably because I was around a lot more black people and Hispanics and stuff. Like I was kind of being, and I felt, and then I hung out with majority black people. Like that's who I hung out with. That was like my group.
Yeah.
So I always felt like the minority, quote, like I was the outsider, you know? So I guess I had a perspective of that. I just never, I don't know, man. And a little bit in high school, maybe. I know that stuff was starting, but it wasn't until like 2013, 2014, when 2012, like you started seeing all this shit coming up, man. It's so disheartening, man.
It really is. It's a bummer. And it's hard to like really know what to do about it or how to fight back against it, honestly.
Breaking news, Shaun Hannity got caught vaping on live television.
Shit, dude. Oh no.
Disappointed, dude. Fucking pointed, man.
No, but this just to go back to this Bill de Blasio thing. I think it's crazy that like this guy he actually said this.
Who, Bill? He's a fucking nutjob.
He said that people should go.
I sent it to your Twitter, by the way. It is fucking hilarious.
Prophet says, guys, I keep losing you. Not enough bandwidth for you and the Snyder Cut at the same time.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I was having some strength. Like, my internet was having a hard time. I don't know what's been going on
HBO
today.
Max sucks, actually. They're just
No, like, my internet would just shut off. Like, it was fucking awful. Like, I would leave it, and then I would try to go back. It was later in the day. Who knows? There's been a really bad weather due here.
Also, that could do it. And also, you should. 5 more lemons from Prophet. Thank you. We're wealthy.
Thank you.
We're wealthy. We're rich now. What is this video you just sent me?
Just Shaun Hannity vaping. Oh. It's hilarious. It's like funny because it's the most human reaction ever on you. I'm ready.
All right, you ready? Well, it should go automatically.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Uh-oh. Now.
Because there's probably some sort of like you probably can't do it on air or something.
I don't think it's that. It's, you know, you just don't. You don't smoke on TV. Like that's what these guys are. You're a TV show. Why would you be ripping a fucking vape? You know?
Because
like,
that's what you do in the cameras when you're off air. You're just like sitting there.
Now
vaping
everyone
it.
knows that Sean Hannity's like, I'm a hard,
he
red-blooded American. Dude, shut the fuck up, you vape.
He used to smoke, I think, as well. I think he does smoke as well. Prophet says, I'm going to drop as many lemons as possible before I have to jerk off to Gal Gadot's armpits.
Dude, Gal Gadot is fucking bad, dude. I like that body type, though. Like, athletic, like long. I like that.
I like them long.
I do.
Is that what's on your Tinder profile? Like your preferences? Long.
Long-legged bitches. I like taller chicks.
Dan,
like,
she would dominate you so hard. Gal Gadot would fucking
no.
You'd be like trying to climb her like a fucking tree.
I would bust so hard in her though. I would get her so
in her armpit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'd be bust so deep inside
of
her. She would get
is that?
3 times as pregnant.
What movie is that? Is that something about Mary licking the armpit? There's a movie where someone's like licking someone's armpit, like that's how they're getting off. Is there's something about Mary?
I think so. It's one of those. I think it's a Farley Brothers movie.
Yeah, like do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I can't place it. It could be.
I think it's Ben Stiller when he's like in the back in the past, whatever. It's like a flashback, and there's something to do with like she wants her armpits licked or something, or it's one of those famous like scenes in a movie, and I just can't place it right now.
Oh no, it's a fucking not Along Came Polly, the Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid is no, that's not it either.
It's when he goes to it's with Molly and Ackerman, and he like has this whirlwind romance, marries this really young hot chick, and then takes her to a resort.
I know it, and then she cheats on him. I know what it is.
Yeah, but that's one of the weird things she's into that he didn't know about when they went to the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That shit. You know what? It's not a great movie. It's okay.
It's not. But it's
very average.
It's all right.
Has some funny moments though. Has some classic character scenes. When it has the fucking, I think it's Along Came Polly where it's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he has the play.
Like it's Jesus Christ Superstar. That's what it is. And he's playing Jesus.
It's been a long time since I've gone into the Frenchman Ben Stiller's filmography.
Dude, that guy is an SJW hardcore, dude. He loves Bill de Blasio, loves all these guys.
How can he Bill de Blasio? Dude, anybody that fucking ever talks to me positively about Bill de Blasio, I'm like, I hope a cop shows up at your fucking house because you said you didn't like something.
That's true. I want to push that to the limit. And I would see what happened. Just do something like that every day. Just waste their time, waste their resources. But like, what are you going to do, Daddy?
Well, there's somebody. Like, I don't. Oh no. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody posted an article from Reason Magazine, saying how it starts, how it ends. It says, cops arrested a black man for calling him a Nazi because they charged him with a hate crime. This was in 2018. Cops arrested a black man. He called them Nazis, so he was charged with a hate crime. Yeah, police officers in Crafton, Pennsylvania arrested a 52-year-old black man, Robbie Sanderson, for shoplifting at a CVS in September of 2016. He called them Nazis, skinheads, and Gestapo as they cuffed him. Because of those epithets, Sanderson was charged with ethnic intimidation.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's just as bad as calling someone the N-word, dude.
I'm not... Yeah, but you shouldn't... I don't think anybody... Even if you called him the N-word, I don't think you should be charged with anything. That's a little ridiculous.
Oh, maybe not charged, but... Well, what do you get... Well, if this is the thing, is like, what's a hate crime? It's up for interpret... Like, is it like
I know,
completely outlawed,
that's why it's so dangerous. No, you shouldn't be able to formally charge people with a crime unless they're like literally in somebody's face screaming, harassing behavior. But if somebody...
Well, I imagine if the guy was being arrested, he probably wasn't being nice, but like, you stupid Nazi.
I'm not talking to a cop that is arresting you. I'm talking to like somebody on the street. You gotta have
I don't know.
You gotta have a little more.
Let them fucking...
You know what they do? Sanderson has made bias-motivated terroristic threats, they claimed. The alleged motivation increased the seriousness of Sanderson's crime from a first-degree misdemeanor to a third-degree felony.
Jesus
for calling cops a Nazi. Granted, I don't think you should be running around doing that. But still, that's a little ridiculous.
I guess the meeting they had today in Anchorage, the Chinese and like Biden was a fucking like disaster.
What do you mean? There was a meeting today in Anchorage? See, I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah,
right now.
Biden disaster at Anchorage CCP summit. That's what they're saying.
What was like? He was what? Grandpa.
He was doing a press conference with like I don't know, talking to the CCP or whatever, and like it was bad. I guess this didn't go good.
Yeah.
Then he called Putin a killer.
I saw that. I saw the headline. Yeah.
Pretty hilarious. And then Putin challenged him to a debate.
Yeah, with no moderator.
No moderator, no notes, nothing. And Biden's administration said he was quite busy. That's what their response was. No, he's quite busy. Which maybe he is. I don't know. But I don't know, man. I just don't trust it.
No, he's not busy. I mean, granted, nobody should do that. That would be stupid for anybody to do. But
why? No, fuck it. Like Trump would do it.
No, he wouldn't.
Trump would probably do it.
No, he wouldn't. Fuck no, he wouldn't.
Why would he not?
Because why didn't Putin
do it then, Shaun?
Because there's nothing to gain. Zero to gain. The
There's
only thing you're gonna do is go embarrass yourself.
You look like a bitch. You know what, dude? Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Trump was like perfect or anything. But that dude had fucking balls, dude, and he could speak.
I'm not saying.
And there is so much to gain when one of the world leaders one of the people in the world, one of the quote unquote powers of the world says you're a bitch. You want to call me? Biden started it. He said you want to call me a killer? Okay, well let's have a conversation in public. Blah blah blah. Say it to my fucking face, and then Biden says, I'm busy. You look like a bitch. Trump called North Korea leader Kim Jong-un or whatever the fuck one it is, and fucking called him Rocket Man, did all this, and you know what he did? He went over and fucking talked to him and talked in front of the press.
I think in terms of intellectually, Putin would be way more intimidating than the North Korean dude.
You don't know who that is. You never even heard him talk. You have no idea if he's smart or not.
I've heard him talk.
Oh, Kim Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un, yeah.
Man,
because he gives public statements all the time. I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, but Putin.
He clearly is not some sort of fucking mastermind.
He's probably not. He's probably not.
Putin is actually legitimately like a creepy mastermind.
He's a smart guy. There's no doubt he's smart. But that's what the whole fucking like. Why would you not take the opportunity to at least not have a debate, but a discussion with the world leader?
You have nothing to gain.
Yes, you do.
Nothing to gain.
Like building fucking unity between the United States and Russia is not important.
No,
like having
I'm just saying,
communication and dialogue.
If you have somebody that has applesauce for brains, like fucking Joe Biden can barely speak a sentence, why you're not going to do that? And Trump could do it. Why wouldn't Trump do it? I don't think his like. The people that surround him would encourage him to do that. I just don't think that.
Man, he fucking.
I don't think it would not go well.
Him to go to Korea. No one was encouraging him to go to North Korea, and he did it anyways. He's the first fucking person crossing the DMZ.
Yeah, but
without security.
His administration definitely encouraged him to do that. It was a good PR move. Didn't amount to anything. It didn't amount to much, but.
Was that a good PR move, Shaun? The entire media establishment said he was cozying up to a dictator.
Yeah, but you know the same way that I do that like his base loved it. They loved it. And then they constantly get to bring that up as a counterpoint, a counterclaim to this idea of like he did nothing or whatever. If that had worked out better, they would have to acknowledge that he did something.
Well, what did not work out about it?
Well, I mean, clearly he didn't like bring peace, and now they're back doing their same old shit again. Now that he's gone, so.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Like that's pretty successful then if they stopped for a while. I don't know. I'm not into I don't know much about North Korea and their foreign diplomacy at the moment.
Well, they were saying that they were going to open conversations up with South Korea and be more like amicable with each other or something, and I don't think that ever really actually came to fruition. But part of the thing with Trump was about their nuclear program, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the big thing, I think, was like, but now they're building it back up.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, I just don't see the harm in doing that. Like, having a conversation with a world leader. You want to insult the guy and then not have the balls to talk to him, basically. Because Putin knows he would destroy him. Putin didn't do that shit with Trump. And Trump had said some pretty fucking egregious shit against him.
No, not really. I mean, what did Trump say against Putin that was egregious?
I don't think he wasn't really in power when some of this stuff was going on.
I mean,
I know he has said he's been very critical, put a fuck ton of tariffs on them. Like he was pretty critical.
Yeah, I know that, but publicly he was. The only thing I can remember that's off the top of the dome without looking into it was when he said that about, I think a news journalist asked him, "Is like, Putin's a murderer. You're like, why do you always have deference to these guys? Why are you always softballing with these guys?" He's like, we're not so innocent either. He said something to that effect. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, I mean, I'm not saying that Biden's like it's a smooth move or a good idea just to virtue signal to do that, because it seems just unnecessary and dumb.
What I'm saying, if you're gonna say something about somebody and then they say, well, let's have a discussion live on TV and really talk, then let's have a debate about who does what.
Dan, Putin would go in there and embarrass him. You think he doesn't know America's like dirty little fucking secrets and shit and our nation building tendencies and stuff? Why would any president
bought and paid for, dude?
Yeah, but why would
any by the CCP, Shaun?
Why would any president open themselves up to that? I just don't think anybody would do it. And Putin knows that, and he knows he gets to look like he's
Trump ain't got shit.
He looks
Trump
like
no one had shit on Trump, Shaun.
He looks like he's in a power position by making the offer and knowing that it's going to be declined. That's not a serious offer. It's not a serious offer. He knows that they're never going to take that.
And then if Biden said, you know what, fuck it, dude, pump me up all that shit like I did the debate, it'd be good.
And then you got these Putin simps like yourself will come out there and feed.
You're the one calling him a god, and I'm saying Biden should do it. So.
I didn't call him a god. I said he's obviously.
You were like, oh, he's an intellectual mastermind.
No, obviously he's very fucking savvy.
I don't know where you're getting this from, but yeah, he could be.
Dude, he's kept. What do you look at his legacy? I'm not saying it's a good thing.
What's his legacy?
He's not stupid. He's been able to completely control the government and finagle it where he's constantly gets elected. He has fake elections and he kills people.
North Korea.
Yeah, that guy's not Putin, and that society is not built the same way.
No, it's not. I mean, I agree. What did they just arrested that Navalny or whatever his fucking name is?
Yeah, that guy that they tried to poison.
Yeah, I mean, he should, probably die for speaking out against the state. I mean, you shouldn't speak against.
It's just not done, honestly.
Yeah. I just whatever, man. I think Biden's a fucking puss, and I'm not saying Trump was perfect, but goddamn, the guy could talk. The guy could at least talk. He said some dumb shit. He talked too much sometimes.
Oh, Joe Biden can't even get a sentence out. It's embarrassing. Honestly, I don't know what people are defending when they defend. He can't get through a paragraph without making a gaffe, and then if he goes off script, it's even worse. So
when he said,
President Harris.
This is the thing. Yeah, President Harris. Hey, let's give the guy a break. He is fucking 80 and he's an idiot.
I know. Maybe he shouldn't be president because he's an old senile man.
Oh well, then you're getting Kamala. That's who you're getting next. And then Nancy Pelosi will become the vice president. That's what you'll get.
Keep sending those checks. I'm just joking. That's how most people feel.
That's what you will get, though.
I get checks.
You'll get Nancy Pelosi and then fucking Kamala Harris, dude.
I'm liking the sound. I get checks. Cereal.
You know what, dude? That might have been this. Is like the only way. And if Kamala Harris does become president that way, everyone will be like, "But you're not really the president." You never.
They won't allow that.
No, they will love that shit, dude. People will be like, "Oh my god, this is such a proud moment."
Yes.
We got our first woman. She's black, but not really. She's actually Indian. But she's kind of black.
People will frame it as a patriotic act that she came in and saved the country because of this senile old man.
I can't wait for the movie. I can't wait for the movie, dude.
I'm gonna play Joe Biden.
Oh, did you? So the guy that made Comey Rule for Showtime, the director and writer, he's making a show about the insurrection on the 6th, the Capitol insurrection now.
Yeah, it's not a show. Isn't it a documentary or is it a show?
No, I thought it was a show. It could be a documentary.
You know what I love? My favorite thing in the world is when Hollywood types go and try to create reality by making propaganda right after something happens. It's so great.
But dude, it works.
I know it does, Dan. I know it works. That's why it's so insidious. That guy's probably on some sort of fucking intelligence payroll.
Oh, listen, I'm not into fascism, but they should make that shit illegal.
What doing? No, I don't. You can't make it illegal.
We need complete state-run controlled media like North Korea.
We pretty much do at this point.
No, we don't though.
These people in the media are 100% fucking lackeys of the state. They have given up their responsibilities as journalists, as truth tellers, whatever you want to say. They've completely abdicated the throne. Most fucking artists have done the same thing. It's a bad place. They're all propagandists now. Comedians are all propagandists now. You're like, what the fuck?
It's more about money. I don't think it has anything to do with like. I think it's the establishment. It's the same thing, dude. Back in the day with like the more conservative whatever establishment. Like it's always been. It's always gonna be like that. Like, do you think Brian Stetler, whatever his fucking name is, gonna give up his fucking job of making $10 million a year to make you feel better?
No.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No, I don't. I know they don't. This is what's so evil about it, Dan. Like, it's evil.
Well, it's not even evil. It's not
fucking.
evil.
It's 100% evil to be a propagandist, to spread lies and be a fucking propagandist, to make people feel like they're being. I don't care how they see it. I'm talking about what it is. Like, nobody thinks they're the bad guy. Obviously, nobody thinks they are. Nobody thinks they're being a propagandist. They're so stupid. They are so fucking stupid that they will literally get their marching orders from a fucking state entity or run things by a campaign before they report on it. And then act like they're journalists. Like you're not a journalist anymore. Half the fucking people that work in media used to work in politics. It's fucking disgusting. It's infested with this shit. And they all want to be like cool kids. They all want to be like celebrities. It's fucking gross. Now all those people have is Zoobox, Dan. That's all people have.
That's why we're here. We will be, the radio-free beacon, dude. We might have to invest in some radios though, so we can start broadband.
Be a shortwave radio show.
Yeah.
Call it Rush Limbaugh too.
The G delegation tells Biden delegation that they don't have the qualifications to say they speak to China from a position of strength. That's what they said to them. And this happened in front of the press.
China said that to Biden?
To the Biden administration, like their delegation.
Oh,
so
wow.
Biden's people and the Chinese people came together and they're like, Yeah, that's not going to go well. This is straight up right here. This is crazy. Many people within the United States actually have very little confidence in the democracy of the U.S. That's what they just said to this motherfucker, dude. Like, and saying like Black Lives Matter and the killing of blacks like proves that you guys are a failure as a nation.
Yeah, because oh my god, because this is what they're doing. They're actually being just subversion stuff.
They literally were. See, Sean,
they're all over Twitter. They're all over Twitter. They're all over Twitter with bots and shit doing this stuff.
CNN is not propaganda for the U.S. government. It's a CCP, dog.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Like, we were talking about propaganda, CNN.
There are writers that you would swear to God at the New York Times and shit that are in the pocket of the fucking Chinese government. They probably are.
Or just contrary.
I mean, didn't we just catch a bunch of college professors and stuff like last year?
Yeah.
All being on the government payroll to go to spread fucking anti-American sentiment in colleges? You think that's like that one dude that's doing that? Obviously not. Come on. It's fucking... Yeah, no, those people, like people talk about fucking foreign interference and elections and social engineering and stuff. That's what the Chinese do. That's what the government is all about. And they're doing it, and they're stoking a lot of this racial tension shit.
Well,
I guarantee you this anti-Asian shit, why it's such a big story, is probably is being pushed
by China.
By Chinese actors on Twitter and social media.
Well, there was James Lindsay was on Timcast a couple days or a week ago or whatever, and he said that they used to refer to white liberals as like wah something, whatever. Yeah, and now they stopped using it and they started praising them.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the people in China have been like basically told like, hey, let them keep doing what they're doing.
Yes.
Stop making fun of them.
No, actually support their stupidity. Yeah, because you used to call them stupid white people basically.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, no, you guys are out there doing the good work.
Yeah.
No, they shifted.
The moment the CCP starts thinking you're good, maybe that's, like if you're like a good idea, that's probably not too good. But the thing is this, and this is really apparent. The world doesn't really respect Biden. You've seen the Chinese government just today basically say, fuck out of here. Like, you ain't strong, like whatever. And then you have Russia being like, you want to call me a killer? Like, okay. Why don't you come have a debate? We like basically challenge him. And now Europe, dude, shit is getting wild. Like Europe is basically trying, like UK, from what I was hearing and reading, that the UK and UK, Turkey, Spain, and a couple other countries want to like basically kick the US out of Syria.
Yeah.
And they want to take over the pipeline that they're building.
Mm-hmm.
And US is like, no. Like, we can't. Dude, I'm telling you, shit is gonna get weird.
It's definitely possible. I mean, Biden's setting such a weird tone right now.
Dude, he's nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen.
He's a ghost.
Like, and the thing is, like, people were so mad. And I want to know this. I don't remember, and we probably weren't awake, like, to the political theater or political sphere at the time. But how often did Obama talk to people? Like, how public was he? Because
pretty often. I mean, they would do stuff like probably at least once a month, at the very least. Maybe not a long thing, but something would always happen. You go out and you would go out and give a press conference. I mean, it's just pretty normal stuff.
He's been doing that though. People are not real. He is doing that. He's just not allowing questions. Like questions are very limited.
That's what I'm talking. When you give a press conference, like you get asked questions by people after you give your statement or whatever.
At least for 5-10 minutes. Dude, Trump was there every fucking day for like 4 months.
Well, with
like
the coronavirus,
every day, hour and a half.
Probably
2 hours.
Stupid, kind of a bad move, but yeah.
No, his ratings were through the roof in the beginning. It was really good.
Come on, his ratings. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, probably didn't have to be like the fucking the ringmaster every single day.
Well, I don't think it was about the ringmaster. I think he was trying to show strength and leadership.
Yeah,
and that's commendable. Like that's respectable.
For a little while.
Actually, I mean, that's your opinion for sure. I can understand that. I understand.
Well, because
I kind of saw it as like, well, at least he's out. Like he's not hiding. He's like saying he's being. I can admit at one point you could say like, okay, dude, like.
No,
once the bleach thing came out,
because it just became about him rather than the information, or it just became about him because the media wasn't going to let him.
It was a spectacle.
Yeah, it just became a circus. But
then again, those clips went so viral every day of like him, like, and that's what people loved him. Dude, and a lot of people woke up to Trump because of those press briefings. Because he saw how the press was so disrespectful to him, how they're constantly stepping on him and like trying to make him look like an asshole.
Yeah.
And like, I think that also woke like a fuck ton of people up, dude. You got to remember, Trump gained 10, 11, 12 million votes. Like,
I understand that. Yeah.
It's insane. So, I don't know. I think it's just, we are in a unique position in our country. And if they start de-arming people, like, and they're going to start trying to come at, I'm going to tell you now, they come after people's guns, there will be a revolution. Like, there will be. Like, 100%. If they ban AR-15s and, like, what they're trying to talk, like, dude, every revolution in this country has always started over the argument of guns. Everyone thinks that, like, during the revolution, it was like no tax. No. The thing that sent things over the edge is when the English came in and took people's firearms. And they said, you can't have a weapon. That's the thing that really started people, like, freaking out.
Yeah, because
the same thing in Texas. When the famous term "come and get it" came from Texas.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, because it makes people feel insecure about what their government is planning or whatever, because it's always sold as this is for your own safety, it's for the betterment of society, without really being able to prove that case. And then you see, I mean, there's other countries that have weapons bans that are not dystopias, but like it's just not the spirit of America. It's just not what our country is.
What's your definition? Like all those countries have way more restrictive freedom of speech laws.
I totally agree. No, I'm they're bad in those regards. They're basically authoritarian governments, soft authoritarianism, I guess you'd call it, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't. That's just counter to the values of our country. Even though you'll be told that is what makes America uniquely evil and problematic. It's because we're so behind the times. What? Because we value our own liberty and our own sovereignty. We value those things. So like we're a problem. It's literally why the country was founded. Like, so this idea that we go back and like swear fealty to the way that Europe does things, like, go fuck yourself. Like, Move to Europe then. Uh-oh.
What?
The stream's bottoming out. Came back. Okay, that was weird. All right, but I don't know. Anything else you want to cover?
No, that's good. I'm good.
Pretty short one tonight. We'll be back next week, Wednesday night, I think. Should be back at a normal time. So we'll see everybody then. And, yeah. Good stuff. Goodbye. Don't let the revolution pass you by. Good night.